Hi folks, Dr. Jim Gishwin here, retired intelligence specialist and the man of common sense. I'm telling you, all the stuff they found out with USAID, and it doesn't stand for aid. It's Agency for International Development, a CIA front. I'll tell you that, and we know that because I worked up there. Okay? And what this was a big pound, it was a scheme. Okay? Every congressman up there would sit there and have some sort of relative starting a charity, and USAID would give that money to the charity, and of course it was funneled back. It was a big money laundering scheme. Besides all the crap that they sit there and spent overseas. And in fact, some of the money went to George Soros, who is now funding all these radicals. And this is organized stuff, and we're finding out it's organized stuff about 3 or 4 NGOs that are funded by George Soros, okay, behind this. What do you think they sit there and come up with the vans that sit there and come out with cases of frozen ice bottles or bricks, okay, stacks of bricks? Okay? This is the summer of love all over again. It's the only thing the left knows what to do. They don't know how to dialogue. They don't know how to talk common sense. They keep backing themselves in the corner, and they sit there making it worse and worse and worse on themselves. Because the American public isn't stupid. We just proved that during the last election, that the American public wasn't stupid. Okay? We see what's going on. From the moment Trump came down on that escalator, they were out to get him because he was an outsider coming in. He was like the bull in the china shop. They couldn't have it. Okay? They couldn't have him disturbing their little setup. And that's why they have their leftist militant arm out there, the Antifa and the BLM people, that they are funding. And talk about wearing masks. They all wear masks. Okay? Our law enforcement officers need to wear the masks. They've gotten threats from cartel people, everything else, because of this immigration thing. Cartel's losing a lot of money on this. Okay? They made a lot of money over the last 4 years. Tons of money. With the help of Joe Biden. Also, a lot of it was funneled to Chinese supporting organizations. Organizations that are funded by the CCP. You know, I find it still remarkable, teaching history, that I sit there and go into a veterans club or something like this, and I'll come across someone that's retired from the military recently, and they don't know what the word Red China means. Okay? Red China. They have been at war with us for 20, 30 years economically. It's been a Cold War. They owe a good half of our national debt. Okay? They can control us. So we have to sit there and be careful. We have to sit there and nurse ourselves away from this Chinese market. Okay? We found out during the pandemic we were getting way too much stuff, medical stuff, from them. We actually get jet engine parts for our fighters from Red China. Can you believe that? Let me sit there and give you a few facts of things that have been going on. Okay? Besides this being the new summer of love, guys, all right, there was a killer in Minnesota. He was well armed. That guy that disguised as a cop, the cops that saw him coming out of a building thought he was a cop. Did he have some help? Okay? Did he have some help? And look, the guy's got 2 or 3 weapons or something like that. It's not a damn arsenal. Like they sit there, the left sits there and tries to project it. And of course, anytime it's one of their people sitting there trying to assassinate Trump or anything else, you hear crickets from the other side on gun control. Don't you? Did you hear anything during those 2 Trump assassination attempts? No, not a word from all these anti-gun people. Not a word. And talk about domestic violence. Okay, these Trump evictions, he's sitting there doubling down on them. Okay, if we wouldn't have won this last election, and now we're finding out the Communist Party in China had a lot to do, besides the misinformation from all the networks, and also X at the time, well, not X, it was Twitter at the time, before Elon saved our free speech and is going to get us to Mars, a great man for a great time. But I'm trying to tell you, okay? You know, 200 times the networks and the regular, alphabet media, the false news, called the riots in LA peaceful riots, peaceful demonstrations. 200 times. 200 times. That's a repeat of the Summer of Love. I'm telling you, we have to sit there and take our country back. Give Trump and his people all the support they need. This is what has to happen. This is a cultural war. We won the political war, okay, by getting a mandate. We still have to win the cultural war. These people have infiltrated, okay? What do you think the communists went when the Soviet Union fell? They infiltrated every other damn thing in the world, including our institutions, including our Democratic political party. So if you're a Democrat, I'm sorry, you're not the same as the Democrats of long yore, okay? You're not the same. And I just want you to know that I do not call Democrats communists and leftists. Communists and leftists are in the Democratic Party. We do have a few of them in the Republican Party. Okay? We call that the Uniparty. So remember, this cultural war, we have to sit there and pull those traitorous, not rhinos, out of office next time during the midterms and get some good people in there. Okay? Now, I told you before, daggone, every great civilization has only lasted about 300 years. We're only a little over 250. If it wasn't for this, I would sit there and say we were doomed. If it wasn't for this last election, it can't be just this last election. We have to sit there and win the next 2, 3, 4 of them. We've got to keep it going to turn this country around. This country's like a big aircraft carrier that I used to float on. And if it's going 35 knots, okay, well, I'm telling you, with the higher speeds, it can do. Okay, everything since World War II could at least do 30. But anyway, trying to turn one around, make a U-turn with one of those things, it takes a couple miles. Okay? Anyway, same thing with the United States government. It's too big to turn on a dime. So pray. Prayers work. I teach this in philosophy. Prayers work. Prayers are a reality. Okay? They've worked for me through my whole life. Anyway, I love you all. God bless you all. And God bless the United States of America. Let's keep the MAGA and MAHA movements moving. Thank God for Elon Musk, Trump, and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Take care. God bless.